Here's something the college vs trades debate almost never touches. Robots are already doing trade work, not in 20 years. Right now. In 2026, there are fully automated bricklaying machines operating on construction sites in Texas and California that can lay roughly 3,000 bricks a day. A human mason averages around 500, so if you're thinking about skipping the 4-year degree and going into the trades, that's still a smart move. But which trades you pick could be the difference between a career that lasts 30 years and one that gets automated out from under you in 10. Let's go through this honestly, trade by trade. I want to start with the ones that have real exposure, because a few trades are genuinely in trouble, and I think people deserve a straight answer on that. Truck driving keeps coming up in these conversations, and the concern is legitimate. As of early 2026, autonomous freight trucks are running commercial routes on I-10 in Texas through companies like Aurora Innovation and Kodiak Robotics. They're not fully driverless yet, there's still a safety operator in the cab, but the direction is obvious. Long-haul trucking, specifically those straight highway miles between distribution centers, is the most automatable segment of the job. Local delivery and short-haul routes are safer for now because they require navigating neighborhoods, backing into tight docks, and dealing with situations nobody programmed for. But if you're 22 and planning a 40-year career in long-haul trucking, that risk is real, and you should go in with your eyes open. Basic welding is another honest conversation. Robotic welding has been in factories since the 1980s, but the newer generation of machines, particularly collaborative robots, which people in manufacturing call cobots, can now handle jobs that used to require a skilled human welder. Repetitive straight-line welds on identical parts in a controlled environment? That's largely automated in manufacturing already. The welders who are still thriving are the ones doing pipeline welding, pipe fitting, custom fabrication, underwater work, aerospace, jobs where no two welds are the same and the environment changes every single time. The welder doing the same factory weld 400 times a shift is in a fundamentally different position than the pipeline welder working on infrastructure in the middle of nowhere. One of those jobs has a future, the other one is already being phased out. Toll booth operators, parking attendants, basic cashier roles in supply chain, that automation already happened. Not coming, done. Now, here's where it gets more interesting, because the list of genuinely hard to automate trades is longer than most people realize. Electricians are one of the safest career bets in the skilled trades right now, and I say that based on what's actually happening in the labor market, not wishful thinking. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects electrician jobs to grow 11% through 2033, nearly double the average for all occupations. The reason automation hasn't touched this is physical complexity. An electrician's job means working inside finished walls, attic spaces, crawl spaces, and live panels in environments that are completely different every single time. Running conduit in a new commercial building is nothing like rewiring a house from the 1940s where 3 previous owners did their own DIY work and nothing is where it should be. Robots are genuinely bad at unstructured environments. Getting a machine to physically snake wire through a wall with asbestos insulation, an unexpected beam, and zero clearance, that problem is nowhere near solved. And on top of that, a licensed master electrician isn't just someone who can do the work. They're someone who can pull permits, sign off on inspections, and carry liability. That credential has legal protection built into it that automation simply cannot replicate. If you're 19 and thinking about a career path, the electrician apprenticeship route is one of the most underrated options in the country right now. You get paid while you train, you come out with a journeyman electrician license, no student debt, and you walk into a job market that's actively looking for you. Plumbers are in a similar position. Plumbing work is messy, non-standard, and physically demanding in ways that require real-time problem solving that you genuinely cannot script in advance. A plumber diagnosing why a drain is backing up in a 60-year-old house is doing detective work. A plumber retrofitting a bathroom in a historic building is improvising every single step. The median salary for plumbers hit $61,550 in 2024, according to BLS data, and master plumbers in high-cost cities regularly clear $90,000 to $120,000. Automation hasn't meaningfully touched this work and isn't expected to in the near term. Same deal on the pathway. A plumbing apprenticeship is a legitimate, paid route into a career with real earning potential and no 4-year debt sentence at the end of it. HVAC technicians deserve a specific mention right now because of what's happening with the energy transition. Heat pump installations are surging across the country. Federal incentives from the Inflation Reduction Act made heat pumps significantly more affordable for homeowners, and the installations have followed. Somebody has to put all of that equipment in and service it when it breaks. HVAC is also increasingly tied to smart home systems and building automation controls, which actually makes HVAC techs more valuable, not less. Because now you need someone who understands both the mechanical side and the digital side. The HVAC apprenticeship pipeline is not keeping up with demand, which means if you get into it now, you're entering a market that needs you. Some trades sit in the middle, not clearly safe, not clearly at risk. It depends on what you specialize in. Construction laborers doing repetitive tasks, basic digging, demolition, material handling, are seeing real robotic competition. Excavation automation is advancing fast. But skilled construction workers doing complex custom work, carpenters, ironworkers, concrete finishers, are far less exposed. The closer your day-to-day work is to creative problem solving on a unique job site, the safer you are. Auto mechanics are a genuinely interesting case right now. Electric vehicles have fewer moving parts than gas vehicles, which sounds like bad news for mechanics. And for basic routine maintenance, it kind of is. But the EVs that do break require specialized knowledge, high voltage systems, battery management, OTA software diagnostics. The shift is actually creating demand for a different kind of mechanic. Legacy mechanics who don't upskill toward EV systems are exposed. Mechanics who go deep on EV systems and charging infrastructure are looking at strong demand for at least the next 20 years. Solar installers are one of the fastest growing trades in the country. 52% projected growth through 2033, according to BLS. Some panel placement is being assisted by software and prefabrication, but the actual installation work on rooftops is still very much a human job. Solar is part of a broader clean energy jobs wave that also includes EV charging infrastructure installation, battery storage systems, and heat pump retrofits. These aren't fringe specialties anymore. They're becoming core parts of the electrical and HVAC trades, and they're growing because federal and state policy is actively pushing money into them. Here's the pattern I keep coming back to when I look at all of this. Automation eats repetition. Researchers who study labor displacement, going back to the Oxford study that first mapped what they called routine task intensity across occupations, found that the single biggest predictor of automation risk is how much of your job involves doing the same motion in the same controlled environment over and over. That's the exposure. If your job means showing up somewhere different every day, reading a situation nobody anticipated, and solving problems on the fly, that's the protection. The second factor is human trust and legal accountability. People want a licensed, insured human being responsible for the gas line in their kitchen and the wiring in their walls. There's a legal and psychological dimension to skilled trades that data entry just doesn't have. A homeowner is not going to let an autonomous robot make judgment calls about their electrical panel. That's partly regulatory, partly liability, and honestly, partly just how people are wired. The third factor is economics. Boston Dynamics robots are genuinely impressive, but they cost hundreds of thousands of dollars per unit. They break down, and they cannot do most of what a journeyman electrician does in an average workday. The math doesn't work yet, and in this context, yet is probably measured in decades, not years. So if you're 18 to 25 and thinking seriously about the trades, here's how I'd actually think about this. Go into a trade with physical complexity and non-standard environments. Electrical, plumbing, HVAC, pipe fitting, industrial maintenance, these are the ones. Avoid trades that are repetitive and factory floor-based unless you're planning to move into supervision or ownership, because those are the roles that will still matter when the floor-level work gets automated. Get licensed. The licensing and credentialing system in the skilled trades creates a legal barrier that automation cannot cross. Pursue the apprenticeship pathway if you're just starting out. It's a paid training route that the vocational training system has offered for decades and that most people outside the trades don't fully understand exists. You earn while you learn, and you come out the other side with a credential that has actual market value. Pay attention to the clean energy jobs market. Anything connected to solar, heat pumps, EV charging infrastructure, or battery storage is growing fast and needs skilled workers right now. This is where the Inflation Reduction Act money is flowing, and the jobs are following the money. And if you're already in a trade with real automation exposure, the move is not to panic. It's to specialize into the part of that trade that a robot cannot reach. That niche exists in almost every skilled trade, and it pays well precisely because it's hard. The bottom line is this: the trades are not going away, but they're not all equal either. The physical complexity of electrical work, plumbing, and HVAC is a genuine moat against automation in a way that repetitive manufacturing or long-haul trucking simply isn't. The people who are going to do well in the trades over the next 20 years are the ones who pick the right entry point, get properly licensed, and stay close to the work that requires a human being who can think on their feet. So here's what I want to know from you. Are you currently in a trade, thinking about getting into one, or already watching your industry change because of automation? Drop that in the comments. I actually read them and it shapes what I cover next. If this was useful, subscribe. There's a lot more coming on trades, income paths, and building a real career without the 4-year debt sentence.